Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, July 1st, 2013. From the Caribbean, in Jamaica, shocker, a squatter sues a property owner for $50 million. This is not a Latino fight. Caribbean people blasted for not paying enough attention to proposed U.S. immigration challenges. Shame in the fields, a Jamaican woman claims sexual harassment while on farm work in Canada. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Stop the music! It's week 2 of our used car blowout month, and this week it's guaranteed credit approval. If we can't show you how to get approved, that car is on us. Log on now, GrecoAuto.com.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin, and this segment is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. In Jamaica, a Kingston-based man is moving to sue the owner of the property he was squatting on for $50 million for all the work he says he has done on the property and the duress he allegedly suffered during the title holder's attempts to have him removed. In response to a letter the landowner sent on April 22nd, the illegal occupant responded with a missive of his own outlining the reasons for his multi-million-dollar claim. According to Guardian, he took up residency on the then abandoned property on Upper Ivory Road in early 2000 while he was living at the 3 Upper Ivory Road. Guardian further claimed that he has made several attempts to purchase the property from the owner, but those efforts have been stymied by circumstances beyond his control and undue manipulation of the property value. He made it clear that he would have no further communication with the title holder until the matter is settled in the court. The title holder also said she would not be having any further direct discussions on the matter with the illegal occupant. And I quote, "I do not intend to get into any further communications with you except through the court and a lawyer. My property is up for sale at the price I have determined. Take it or leave it, and clearly you are not taking it. So this is my initial notice for you to vacate the property. You can expect further notice through the court," she noted in a letter sent this month. Caribbean nationals living in the United States are being urged to register their objection to aspects of the immigration reform proposals now being considered by American lawmakers. Immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington says Jamaicans and other Caribbean nationals have not been paying enough attention to the proposed changes which could impact them negatively. And I quote, "Jamaicans are anxious to become documented, but the problem we are having and the problem they are having is that the Caribbean peoples who are U.S. citizens are not engaged in the lobbying process to make the bill happen and to point out what the failures are that will negatively impact our community," Walker Huntington told reporters. According to Walker Huntington, at a recent town hall meeting in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, it was noted that American citizens with Caribbean background are showing very little interest in the lobbying process. She was supported by Erwin Clare, the managing director of Caribbean Immigrant Services based in New York City, who expressed disappointment with the Caribbean lobby on the issue. He said Jamaicans and the people of the entire Caribbean are not using their strength in the churches to their advantage. According to Claire, if there are 100 churches in New York, at least 30 are filled with Jamaicans. He said Jamaicans control the Seventh-day Adventist churches and were significant in the Episcopalians, Methodists, and Church of God. In the meantime, Walker Huntington is taking the battle to the U.S. Capitol as she leads a lobby for changes to the proposed legislation. As reports about rape and sexual abuse of undocumented female farm workers in the United States mushroom, a Jamaican woman who worked on a farm in Canada has claimed that she also faced sexual harassment at the hand of her foreign employer. According to the woman, whose name is being withheld, the incident happened on her first tour of duty. She said they were at a staff party when her boss, a Caucasian male, assaulted her. She says, and I quote, "He walked over to me and touched me on my butt. He tapped me like a clap on my bottom. I looked at him to see if it was a mistake, and he looked back at me, so I said nothing more. I just stepped away from close where he was and went somewhere else to stand up," recounted the woman as she recalled the dehumanizing encounter. She said it didn't stop there, as her boss pursued her in an attempt to get her to consent to a sexual relationship. And I quote, "From then I noticed that he just started looking at me, but I was not up to what he's into, so I didn't even bother to pay him any mind," she explained. The female farm worker is convinced that her brush with sexual harassment was not due to an inadvertent touch. The woman claimed her boss repeatedly made suggestive sexual comments to her. So far, this is the only case of sexual harassment in the Canadian Farm Work Program confirmed by the Sunday Gleaner, but she's adamant that she's not the only woman to have been sexually harassed. Meanwhile, former Labor and Social Security Minister Pernell Charles told reporters that he had never received a report of that nature during his tenure in office. The former Labor Minister also questioned why the farm worker did not make an official report of the harassment she reportedly had to endure. Also in Jamaica, a Supreme Court judge has ruled that the police have no power under the Road Traffic Act to arbitrarily stop and search motor vehicles, opening the door for a flood of lawsuits. The police have repeatedly argued that the law gives them the power to stop and search vehicles, and that this has resulted in the apprehension of criminals, the recovery of stolen vehicles, and stolen farm produce. But Justice David Batts said the police are abusing this power. Batts made the ruling when he ordered the government to pay $2.8 million in damages to a motorist who was assaulted by the police when he was stopped in St. Catherine in May 2007. Batts emphasized in the judgment that lawful reasons must be given by the police for stopping and searching a motor vehicle. Batts has directed the Registrar of the Supreme Court to send copies of the judgment to the Office of the Commissioner of Police and to the Commissioner of the Independent Commission of Investigations for action to be taken as seen fit. The judge said there was some belief that Section 58 of the Road Traffic Act gives power to the police to stop and search vehicles without reasonable cause. That act does no such thing, Batts said in the judgment. He said further that in Jamaica, the citizen is free to move about without an obligation to carry a pass and is not to be subject to arbitrary or random searches. Batts noted that this was still a constitutional guarantee. The police high command is still studying the judge's ruling. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with zero out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with zero out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
I can't believe your mom let you take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy.
Little wildflower.
Go faster. Stop.
It'll all be alright.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie. Hey, Mom.
but just to be safe,
So don't you worry.
I got a Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or ColemanSubaru.com.